Jish, if Syracuse does get in right now, the way the standings are and the way the projections are, Syracuse currently slated to play Pittsburgh in the first round, a team that SU has lost to twice. Is that a good or bad draw for round one in the tournament? I mean, if I look at the prior history of this season, I think it's a very bad draw for Syracuse.
I would probably agree with you, Jared. I think that's not the best draw, especially because Jeff Capel, in 2 games this season, has outcoached Adrian Autry. Came back from down 16 against the Orange in this last game. In the first game, Syracuse was relying on Peter Majstorovic to be a scorer, which is never a good thing. But Pittsburgh just grinded it out down the stretch on Syracuse's home floor, no less, was able to take the crowd out of it. So on a neutral floor, Pittsburgh gets round 3. It's really hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, but it seems that Jeff Capel has the formula on this team. And you're right, Jared. I think that would be a pretty bad draw.
And in both games, just SU struggled with the perimeter defense.
Yep.
Syracuse gave up 38 points to Ishmael Leggett and Jalen Lowe in the first game alone. Mm-hmm. And then in the second game, both of them combined for 36. So Syracuse has made the same mistake multiple times now. And against Pittsburgh, you got to make an adjustment if you play a team for the third straight time and you lose both of those games. Not to mention Syracuse lost the second game on February 18th by double digits.
Feeble.
This is a bad draw.
Yeah, no, it would definitely be a very bad draw. I think that a better draw for Syracuse, there's 2 in my mind. I think Cal would be a pretty good draw for Syracuse. I know California, when Syracuse beat it back a couple weeks ago, they were missing their leading scorer, Andrei Stojakovic, and he is a sharpshooter. He would be the reason Cal beat Syracuse, but he hasn't been a reason Cal has beaten any team. They're on a 5-game losing streak, and they don't really shoot the ball well as a team. Syracuse doesn't have a really great defense, 3-pointer or 2-pointer. They rank 12th in 3-point defense and second to last in scoring defense in the ACC. They face a team like California, they have a chance to lock down a little bit, or at least enough to get their guys going.
Yeah, Syracuse beat Cal, and I'll go with, for my pick, another team that Syracuse, well, they split the season series with. I'll go Notre Dame. I don't think, there's not a great option out of any of the teams that Syracuse could really face in that round one, but if I have to choose, I go Notre Dame, because I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Syracuse went down by 17 against Notre Dame, and they came back and won. J.J. Starling had 21 points. Eddie Lampkin had a double-double. I believe it was his 4th straight game at the time with a double-double. So if you can go down by 17 against a team and come back, that shows resilience.
It's also a good stat that Syracuse is undefeated against Notre Dame in games where it makes a 3-pointer against Notre Dame. The first
they
game,
didn't make a 3-pointer at all.
And they still
game.
only lost by 5. That shows how that I think that if we're going coach for coach, like we were talking about, I kind of alluded to it earlier, I think Adrian Autry can hang his hat knowing that he is a better coach than Micah Shrewsbury of Notre Dame, who consistently loses his cool with the media. His team melts down, played Syracuse close twice. I think Adrian Autry would have the edge there. Another team I want to draw your attention to, Jared, Virginia as well. And in years past, that would be, what are you talking about? Virginia's this great Virginia lost Tony Bennett right before the year, one of the best coaches in its program history.
Yep.
And their offense didn't get better when he left. That was always the knock on a Tony Bennett team, is the offense was always bad, but the defense was good. The offense for Virginia is the worst in the ACC. Defense still the second best, but I think Syracuse has that size advantage. If they really want to, they can bully down low, especially because Virginia is also the worst rebounding team in the ACC. That's an advantage for Syracuse again. Granted, Syracuse hasn't been great with second opportunities at all this season.
Yeah.
But I think it gives you a good chance to win. And Jared, I want to know quickly before we send this to break, we kind of talk about, righting the wrongs of the past. It's been kind of a theme of this block.
Yep.
Yeah, what do you think Syracuse would have to do in the ACC tournament to right wrongs at all, or to call it a successful tournament run?
Perimeter defense.
Sure.
Close out on it doesn't matter which team you play in the ACC tournament in that first round. Close out on their guards and close out on the 3-point line. If you're letting these mid-ACC teams, like Pittsburgh, for example, have 2 guards who combine for nearly 40. Imagine what happens when you take on SMU in a couple days and you have a better team with better guards who can potentially torch you as well. If Syracuse makes the tournament, what's going to get them farther along than many people would expect is closing out on the guards for the opposing team. Syracuse played Miami a couple weeks back. Matthew Cleveland dropped 32 points, Jish. Miami's the worst team in the conference. Their guard dropped a 30-piece on Syracuse. Syracuse has got to close out on the guards. They've got to adjust their perimeter defense. That's the biggest thing that I want to see for SU going forward.
It's Megan Rode and Kate Gallagher back in the draw control circle. Referee nests the ball between the two sticks as there's a fresh 15 minutes on the clock. Ref backs away, whistle blows, ball springs up, and it's won by the Cuse. Another win by Megan Rode as she claims it on the near block. Yes, Casey Benoit has it on the far sideline. Racing, passes to a cutting Melita Cotter, who's already got 2 goals, rotates to the far side, GLE. Swings it behind cage for 2-time All-American Emma Ward. Ward surveys the field, lobs it up high in the air for Caroline Trinkus, who had 4 goals on 4 shots last time out against Notre Dame. Ball on the far side, a pass back to Ward, another one to Trinkus, moves inside, fires a shot right in front of the crease, but it's denied. UVA comes up with possession, a trio of defenders right in front of the crease, and the Cavaliers venture from left to right.
Yeah, Syracuse really takes their time on offense. They have that patient offense that we saw throughout the entire first 15 minutes, but they still force shots and force drive-ins, just like Caroline Trinkus did right there.
So Freda steering down the far sideline, ball in the back of the cage. Now rotated over to the far side in possession of Jenna DiNardo. Steers inside, a shot saved by Guyette. Right place at the right time. Ball went right into her stick, and Syracuse claims possession. Orange surge from right to left. Here's Emma Muchnick, who had 5 goals against Loyola Maryland. Passes inside to Trinkus, but it's stolen away by Virginia. Not before whistles blow. And the ball stays with the Cavaliers.
Yeah, Caroline Trinkus hitting a Virginia player on the head with her stick there. Sloppy play from Syracuse to start off the second quarter after they mounted a first quarter comeback, and it seemed like they were really getting into it.
90 seconds into the second frame, Syracuse and UVA knotted up at 5. Madison Alaimo has it 20 yards out from cage, being tightly guarded, dodges lefty, now goes back to a right, drops a defender, shoots, and it's deflected and caught by Guyette. The reigning ACC Defensive Player of the Week with another timely save, and Syracuse charges from right to left.
What a deflection there by Alexa Vogelman, who is now going all the way down the field for Syracuse.
Vogelman has had a goal in 6 straight games. She dunks on the doorstep, but the shot is deflected in the air, lands behind cage, but the Cuse corral it. Ball on the near sideline. Trinkus has it, rainbows it up far side to her fellow teammate. Now it's back about 10 yards out from cage.
Boy, I think this is about the most hectic lacrosse you could play without scoring a goal for over 3 minutes, Jared.
And that's what happens when you have 2 ranked teams, Syracuse number 7, UVA number 11. Ball far side GLA, pass behind cage to Emma Ward. Surveys the field, being double-teamed, hands it off to Trinkus. Now back to Vogelman, races inside, tries to shoot, and hits the deck right in front of the crease. A scramble for the ball ensues, and it's still being fought for as it trickles to the near sideline. And it goes to UVA. The Cavaliers with some hounding defense, and they get another possession as they work from left to right.
And I said it just 2 minutes ago, and it reigns even more true now. Sloppy play from Syracuse. Alexa Vogelman drove in. She took contact, and she got in about 5 yards away from cage, and it looks like she was looking for even more contact to draw to get a free position shot rather than just take the shot she had.
All of a sudden, it's swiped away by Syracuse. Now they get possession, moving past midfield. And whistles blow again. A UVA player, Cruther's, hit the deck on the near sideline. But whistles blow. And instead, it's going to be a green card on Nicole Cruther's.
Yeah, she was the one that initiated the contact right there against Syracuse, but regardless, both sidelines and the entire crowd is frustrated with how both of their teams are playing right now. They are not happy with what they've seen in about the first 3.5 minutes of the second quarter.
Vanderbilt lofts the ball back in play. Trinkus has it 10 yards out from cage. Now Muchnick feeds it toward top of the 12-meter and dishes it far side. Syracuse playing catch as they orbit the 12-meter. Ball back behind cage. 40 seconds left on the woman down for UVA. Pass in front to Ward, who shoots. Denied. Mel Josephson with the rejection, saves it right between the sticks, and UVA gets possession as they venture from left to right. And a new 5 getting ready to come on the floor for the Orange. It's Shy Hawkins, Sophie Burrows, Kyra Wood, Dominique Camp, and Maddie Potts, who checks into the game. Got her first collegiate start not too long ago against Clemson and put up 13 points.
Well, I was there for that game, and she went off on the road. 3 for 7 from three-point land. Just 10 points in the last 6 games for Maddie Potts.
Pittsburgh going from right to left. Brooklyn Miles takes it up the timeline. Feeds it near side, Elmore. She's got it at block S, being tightly guarded, hands it off to Washington. Back to Miles, guarded by Dominique Camp at block S. Throws it inside for Elmore. Another pass inside to Fai, who loses control. Still by Shy Hawkins. Orange left to right. Hawkins feeds Camp near side. Camp takes it straight away. Screen set by Wood. Camp near wing, feeds it to Potts. One more pass to Hawkins, who's already got 7 points. She has it on the far sideline, stops at the mid-range, and sinks it! Shy Hawkins already up to 9 points, 36-16, Syracuse in front. 4:50 to go, second quarter.
And Pitt turns it over on the other end as the pass was sent way overhead over to the first row.
Turnover number 8 for Pittsburgh. Syracuse on a 7-0 run over the last 90 seconds. Camp near wing. Screen set by Wood. Pass cross court to Sophie Burrows, guarded by Elmore. Hands it off to Hawkins, the hot hand. She drives inside. Kick out near corner for Camp. Turns around at the near block. Bounce pass inside for Kyra Wood. Loses control of the ball, and Pittsburgh gets it. Washington swiped it out of Wood's hands. It's Pittsburgh right to left. Washington's inside, swings it near corner. One more back to Washington's on the near wing. Khadijah Fai sets a right screen. Washington's inside, a bounce pass to Fai, who scoops it up and in off the glass. Just the second field goal for Khadijah Fai. She's up to 6 points, 36-18 Syracuse. 4 minutes to go, second quarter. Wood left wing, feeds it over to Potts. Potts a cross-court pass to Camp. Near side, thinks about a 3 at the corner, and feeds it up to Burrows. Burrows resets, now takes it inside. Bulldozes her way through and hits the deck. Washington with another timely steal. Syracuse trying to get back on defense. A pass inside to Fai, who was wide open, spins and lays it in again. Khadijah Fai, back-to-back buckets. 36-20, Syracuse in front, 3.5 to go, second quarter.
Well, it's the last player you want to see get involved for Pitt is Fai.
Fai averaging 19 points a contest. Here's Camp on the far sideline, directing traffic. Hands it off to Hawkins straight away. She bulldozes her way inside and gets a foul. Ref blows the whistle. Hawkins driving down the left alley. Drew some contact. Foul going on Michaela Johnson.
Syracuse has done a really good job of going towards the basket, drawing fouls. They've already got 6 free throw attempts so far, only knocked down 3 of them, but Shy Hawkins back at the line for the Cuse.
Hawkins, a 16-point performance at Niagara, the first game of the season, her season high on the year as she misses the first free throw. 36-20, Syracuse in front, 3:19 to go, second quarter. Shy Hawkins, an 82% free throw shooter. Misses the second free throw, so she goes 0 for 2. Washington snares it in. Hands it off to Brooklyn Miles at block S. Camp guarding her tightly. Feeds it far side back to Washington. Over to Elmore, top of the key. Takes one dribble, swings it near side for Audrey Biggs, who checks into the game. Fai, a one-handed pass to a cutting Brooklyn Miles, who lays it in from the baseline. Moving without the ball, paying off on that possession. 36-22 Pittsburgh, down by 14, 2:47 to go, second quarter. Hawkins on the far sideline, crossover, but swiped away by Miles. Pittsburgh has numbers, 2-on-1, pass inside, Elmore goes up with a layup, but gets fouled by Maddie Potts on the near block. So she heads over to the line for 2 free throws.